Guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Florian, good to see you. So long story short, guys, over the last couple of weeks I've been struggling a bit to go out and take some pictures because I shot mainly raw images and I just couldn't be bothered to edit them. I think it's just one of those times when you just can't be bothered to do something. So I decided I'd dig a bit deeper into the world of JPEGs from Fujifilm and try to make my life easier and pay attention to what I actually want to do, go out and create. And this is what I did a couple of times, and now I think I'm gonna show you two simple, easy ways how you can use the Fujifilm film recipes onto your Fujifilm camera, and also how you could create your own preference look or LUT, if you want to call it like this, in camera. And the images which coming straight out of camera are fantastic. So without further saying, let's dive into the menu and I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so guys, first we need to basically come into our menu and we choose a film simulation we want to work with. In our case, we just going with a standard Provia film simulation just to have a starting point. You can use every single film simulation from Fujifilm and give it your own tweak, your own style, but just to have a starting point, we're coming down to the standard. Then we're jumping into our menu, we choose our file size. We got a large format, a 16 by 9 large format, a large format 1x1. We just leave it on large 3x2, gives you a nice big image. Image quality, because we want to shoot JPEG, you can either choose fine and normal or just fine, normal. It's all your own personal preference. You might need to walk around with them a bit and see which format suits your style the most. I'm okay with fine. And then we choose in our film simulation. Then we're coming basically down to our first adjustments, grain effect. If you like some grain in the images, like the olden days of film simulation, you could add some grain to it. I choose now strong, just to give you later, when I show you the image, a good example how the image will react when you change those settings. Of course, guys, you need to walk around later on and find your own settings, what works for you, what doesn't work for you. So grain effect, we're just setting now to strong to give you guys a good example. Color chrome effect is the same, we set it to strong. White balance, we probably leave for now on auto. However, you could also change the white balance to, let's say, daylight and give it a hint of red +2 and blue +3, just to give it some sort of color in your white balance straight away if you want to. So we just leave it now on auto white balance, red +2 and blue +3, just to show you later a proper example how the image will react, even if it might be wrong and doesn't look right. It's just to give you guys an idea what you can do, how the image will react. And then I'm going to show you, of course, with those settings, a few example pictures as well. But as I said, it's just as example right now. You guys need to figure it out with your own camera, how certain settings will work for you, what style you like. Then we're coming down to dynamic range. You can set it to auto and it will adjust the dynamic range to your ISO setting or to your scene. I leave it currently on 100% because it works quite well. Now the interesting thing is the highlight tones. When we're coming into the highlight tones, on the newer models, on the X-T4 and XS10, you probably see a curve where you can adjust your settings towards highlights and shadows. But with the X-T3 currently, we just got the numbers. And I personally like to bring my highlights a bit down, boosting up my shadows by probably +2, +3 as well, just to brighten up the shadows a bit. Color, I do think that Fujifilm's color arc's great, but sometimes I do think they're a bit too punchy, so I do turn my colors down by -2. Sharpness, I like to have a sharp image, that's my personal preference, so in this case +1. Noise reduction, I leave off a bit of noise. We added some grain, so it will probably work quite well with the noise reduction. Long exposure number we don't need, and that's pretty much it already, guys. So and then you basically go out and take some images. So guys, as mentioned, those settings being just randomly thrown into the camera right now, and I'm gonna show you the standard profile setting compared to our settings as well, just to give you an idea how the image will react when you do certain settings in camera. However guys, as mentioned already, there are just example settings. You need to figure out what works for you, what doesn't work for you, how you want your image to look like. There's also an app called Fuji X Weekly, and this app is downloadable free from an Apple store with a bunch of recipes to create old film looks. And I downloaded this app as well. It's very handy to have. It gives you a breakdown of what settings you need to change, for what sensor, which type of camera you can use to recreate this film look. And it's very handy to have, and I'm gonna show you how to do the Kodak Portra 400 look in your Fujifilm X-T4 camera as well today. And then I'm gonna show you some sample pictures which I took recently on a beach side. So let's dive back into the menu. So I'm gonna show you now how to set up a Kodak Portra 400 film look within your Fujifilm camera, and I'm also gonna show you how to save it for easy access later. So let's dive into it. First we need to choose our film simulation, and this time we need to go with the classic Chrome application, and then we're jumping back into our menu and we start at the top from the bottom. The image size is still large, 3:2. Our image quality still fine or normal. This depends on your own preference. Our film simulation is classic Chrome, and then we starting off with the grain effect, and we're going to strong. Our color chrome effect will be strong as well. Our white balance will be set to daylight, and then +3 red and -5 blue. Okay, then we're going down to dynamic range, will be set to auto. Dynamic range priority is off. Our highlight tones is -1. Our shadow tone is -2. Our color is +2. Sharpness will be -2. Noise reduction is -4. And then that's already the settings to get a Kodak Portra 400 look in your Fujifilm camera. And then we're coming down to the third page of image quality settings, or your IQ menu. And then you added save custom settings. Custom setting 1, personally speaking, for me is always my standard plain unchanged custom profile, which it's just my starting point. If 1 is always untouched, it's easy to say okay, 2, 3, 4 custom settings, or number 2, 3, 4 will be some sort of changed custom settings. That's personal preference, guys. You can change custom setting 1, I leave it plain. So in this case I come down to custom settings 2, save current settings, and then boom, you're good to go. So guys, simple, easy as that. Very simple to copy, and also the app is gonna show you literally every single setting you need to change to create a certain look if you choose one of a film simulation. But also it tells you which sensor this image or this film simulation will work with. But before we keep talking, let me show you some images with the Kodak Portra 400 film look. So it looks pretty cool if you ask me, and I'm definitely gonna choose a Kodak Portra 400 film look a few more times or more often, because I do like how the colors are coming out of the camera. And here a few pros and cons in my personal opinion why I think I shoot more JPEG in the future, because it's very simple, easy to create a certain look already in your camera. File size is smaller, so you're gonna save on storage, and the whole process is more related to taking a great image rather than taking an image, putting it on a computer. I do like the after editing process, however, if I can speed up my workflow in certain moments, right now if it's for private use images or I just want to go out, take some pictures, there's nothing wrong with playing around with the settings in your camera. And at the end of the day, it's pretty much the same process. You just do your editing already in camera, and you never know, you might gonna enjoy it, and I encourage you guys to try it out, give it a go. It is fun to do so. So guys, with that said, I hope those 2 tips been helpful, and if it was, hit the thumbs up button, like, comment and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you, my friend, very soon in another video. Cheers guys.